Director London.
Thank you, Director Kakashiba, and thank you to the many members of the public who have come tonight to address us and speak to the issue before us. And from the very first time that we heard this American Indian issue in April with the renewal of one of the schools, I was very clear that when you are given the opportunity to manage a charter school, you are entrusted by the public with the public's money, and you become a guardian of the public trust. And with all respect to those of you who have now stepped forward, this school has violated the public trust. And I want to posit to my colleagues, if this was a school that was poor performing and these same allegations were raised, we would be a laughingstock for not considering the motion that we are about to consider. And I am not swayed by the fact that this school has great test scores. I mean, that's great for the school, but it does not change for me the fundamental fact that the people who operate this school have violated the public trust. There is extreme fraud, and I personally will not tolerate that. I will not support continuing the school. If the folks want to go out and form a new charter, doing what they want to do, that is their choice to try to do that. But at this point in time, I am not prepared to do anything personally but approve the motion that is before us. So thank you for the time, President Kakashiba.
Thank you. Director Yee.
So thank you for the people who came. I also have had a long history with Mr. Chavitz, Dr. Chavitz, some good and some not. As a matter of fact, I was the one that introduced him to Mr. Grant's program at Merritt College and promoted dual enrollment programs, because when Mr. Chavitz started the American Indian Public Charter School on McGee, he took a failing charter school and significantly turned it around by going clearly back to the basics. The challenge is not that program or the faculty, although there were many concerns over the years of faculty turnover, and I was introduced to many faculty and actually many staff who had various complaints, which I then brought forward to the charter office at the time, which was not the same charter office as the charter office today. We subsequently had differences, but I try to apply a consistent standard on all my decisions around charter schools. So in general, I'm very critical of the academic programs, but even more so of the fiscal responsibility and the fiscal prudence programs. That's why I asked the question about the enrollment challenges at EOLA. The evidence is clear to me that that 3 of the 4 standards against which we evaluate charters for revocation were seriously breached. I hold not only Dr. Chavitz responsible, but I hold the board that existed at the time responsible. And I am saddened that members of my community, my Chinatown community, where my wife was the principal of the school that many of these parents sent their kids to when they were in elementary school, that those parents had to encounter this kind of egregious violation of the charter laws and be asked to come and defend practices which were egregiously in violation of the state. And I feel shamed and embarrassed and humiliated that this would happen in my community. And I urge all my colleagues on the board to stand with me and say that this community, this community largely of immigrants who only want the best for their kids, deserve the opportunity to operate, to send their kids to a high quality school that is run by appropriate standards of practice in the California school system. I'm holding the superintendent accountable to ensuring that those high quality positions in a diverse provider network that may include charters, that may include standard schools, that's not my concern right now. My concern is that we take action that is our fiduciary responsibility. We are entrusted with the funds that are raised to support public education, and that's my responsibility. And I'm urging my colleagues to support the superintendent's strong recommendation to revoke this charter.